I mean, I'm very excited because it's the biggest show we're about to do, biggest show uh, in AEW history. I'm just a little disappointed that it's in England. I just wish Wembley Stadium could be at a different place because I lived in England for a really long time. It's where I got established. It's where I made a name for myself, and I am British. I have a British family. I'm just really bummed out that I have to go back. I thought I left my life behind there, but it's what champion does, you know.
I mean, to be fair, for the longest time, I thought you were Scouse. I grew up in Liverpool, so I actually did think you were from there for a long time.
No, just my family. I'm no longer associated. I'm American now.
Okay, fair enough. Um, but on a serious note, obviously you were kind of a bit of a face of British wrestling for a long time. So this must mean a lot to you being able to kind of come back and perform in front of those fans and that crowd that you've not seen for a long time.
Um, the only reason I'd be excited about seeing all those fans again is I get to rub it in how successful I am now. That's gonna feel really good. Um, so yeah, that's the only thing motivating me is my excitement to really show off just how great I have become and officially denounce my British citizenship at Wembley Stadium. I can't think of a better place.
It's definitely one way to get 70,000 people to boo you.
Yes, at 75,000 people, I plan on ruining 75,000 night, 75,000 people's nights. It's gonna be great. How many
Um,
people can I annoy all at once?
if you wanted to annoy a smaller crowd, would you plan on making any appearances at some of your old kind of stomping grounds while you're back in the UK?
Oh, good God, no, they can't afford me.
Fair
No, the
enough.
price is up nowadays. Sorry. I don't. Yeah.
So you won't want to take, challenge for your old Progress Championship, go against Lana Austin just as a one-off.
If they made it right, if it was worth me getting off the couch, it probably won't be. Then I'll be there. But uh, yeah, no plans. No plans.
Fair enough. One Brit, I think you probably may have some nice words to say about from your past time. Dean Olmark, who trained you.
Yes.
What was it like training under him? And, would you kind of like to see him get a chance when AEW come over?
Yeah, I think Dean Allmark is extremely underrated. It's criminal how underrated he is and how he just hasn't been given, he just hasn't been given enough spotlight. And I think the world should hear more about him because he must be good. He trained me, so it was incredible getting to train with someone just so knowledgeable and so fantastic. So it'd be good to go back and make Dean proud to going from just little shows in England to all the way to Wembley Stadium. I've I've really outdone myself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he did an interview a couple of weeks ago to say he's already extremely proud of how far you've come.
Of course.
How much further do you want to go?
Um, as far as I can go. I mean, there really is no limit to how successful I can become. I've already become this successful. I've already made it this far. I'll probably be even more successful the quicker I denounce my British citizenship. Um, yeah, I just there really is no limit. I'd like to go all the way,
Okay.
and I'm
Um,
heading there.
so, without using the words denouncing my British citizenship, What was the best thing about you being in the UK and living here?
Getting to leave the day I found out I got to leave and go to America and find a better life for myself, get a bit of freedom. You know what I mean? That was the best part because I spent a lot of grueling years in England. It was not easy, but I'd like to think I've graduated. I'd like to think I've moved past it. So yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, fair enough. So you joined AEW about 16, 17 months ago. How have you been kind of liking working with AEW and how has your career progressed in that time from where you were in the past?
I couldn't have done better, wouldn't you say? I mean, I'm a two-time AEW Women's World Champion. That's the first time ever anyone's done it twice, and I'm probably going to be the longest reigning at some point. And I just couldn't have done better. I've got Soraya and Ruby Soho by my side, two of the greatest women in all of professional wrestling. Um, yeah, that's what I mean by the sky's the limit. It's I'm only going to keep getting bigger and better, and I've got the right people in my corner to help me do that. So it's
You
going
do
to be
look like
great.
you do look like you're having more fun than you've probably ever had in your career. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I make people's lives hell at AEW, and that is very fun.
Fair enough. You're kind of like well, not kind of like you are basically a female version of the Outsiders from like the late '90s. Has that been an inspiration for the three of you?
I mean, there really wasn't much inspiration. I mean, we just are what we are. We're the outcasts. You know, we were just never respected enough upon arriving to AEW. Nobody respected us enough for what we've done, what we've achieved in the past, and our training and how great we are. And it just wasn't good enough. So it just kind of naturally occurred. We just naturally gravitated towards each other because we just couldn't find anyone else that was as like-minded as us, which is really sad. So yeah, when three of the best come together, they're going to stay together because we're the top girls, we're the top team.
They do say art imitates life. So how much of the trio is based in your actual kind of real feelings before you joined, like before you formed together, or before even you joined AEW?
Oh yeah, I mean, we were very frustrated, and when we all got together and decided that we would make a good team. I mean, it was very special. It was very special. We knew it was going to be a big deal, and it is. And we've been unstoppable together. We've completely annihilated the entire women's division, put the whole division on notice, and we're at the tippity top, just like it should have always been. So yeah, we're having a great time.
I guess the three of you, in one way or another, have beaten everyone there is to beat in AEW. So who are you kind of looking to face next from outside AEW? I guess because there's no one left to beat inside the company.
I'm not sure. It's really whoever Tony Khan can dig up and throw at us. We'll just run through them like we do everybody else. We're looking for someone that can that can put us to the test. And so far, there just hasn't been any. There's just no one at our level, to be honest.
Fair enough.
But we'll see.
Who would you want to face at Wembley?
That's a good question. I don't care. Give me anybody. I will just make an example out of them in front of all those people, and it'll be really fun no matter who it is. It's gonna be a great night.
If you had to make an example out of one British talent, male or female, that night, who would you pick?
British talent.
I know it's beneath you, but you know,
Yeah, just who is there? Who is there? There's nobody left. But whoever Tony has for me lined up, I am I am ready for it. It's gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna absolutely destroy whoever it is. It's gonna be the greatest show of it's gonna be the show of a lifetime.
so for a fan who's coming or for someone who tunes in because it's going to be on main TV in the UK, what can they expect to see from you if they've never seen you before?
Oh, just complete and total violence and destruction. Just at like how violent I already am in general. Just think about that, but at Wembley, like it's I'm going to be extra motivated in front of all those people. So it's going to be a war. I feel sorry for whoever it is that I face, because yeah, I'm going to ruin their life essentially in front of the biggest crowd we've ever had.
Fair enough. So away from Wembley, away from the trio, something about you that there's a rare thing in wrestling. You actually are in the same company as your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that like, and what's it like working with him? And do you also come home and talk shop, or is that like band at home?
I mean, yeah, we're just a regular husband and wife, to be honest. We come home and just talk about, our dogs. Come here, Lemon. This is our baby. We just come home and take care of our babies.
No.
And it's a wonderful thing. Yeah. But it is nice to have him on the road with me. Hi. But he's a crazy man. He's a crazy person. I like having him there for added protection. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Would you take the dog with you on the road or not?
No, I don't trust this one. She's still just coming out of her puppy phase. I'll only bring her if I need her to someone's bag, you know? Because I'm surprised I haven't brought her already, have I?
very cute. So what's the future for you then in AEW? Not just as a trio or with the title, like what's the evolution, like the next stage of Toni Storm?
Well, you just get to join me for the ride and watch me become the biggest star in professional wrestling if I haven't already. It's so I advise you all to tune in and just watch as I continue to become a bigger and bigger star. And it's going to be wonderful for everyone who's watching because we like violence and there's going to be plenty of it.
Fair enough. So away from the ring, I want to talk about like your kind of mental fortitude. You've had to put up with a lot of over the years. Let's be blunt.
All
But
the time.
yeah, you seem to have like fought through it, and you seem to be a lot in a much better place now. What is it about you that just kind of did that and was able to get through that?
I guess I've just gotten older. I've grown up in this business, and with that, I've gotten stronger, and I've gotten a lot of experience under my belt. And I ran out of patience for a lot of things, a lot of people. So now I just don't take from anybody. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that Saraya and Ruby have had they've been a big part of that. They created this monster. Like those are two bad women, and they've had a hell of a bad influence on me. So, it's crazy what I've turned into, and it's only going to get crazier and crazier. Sorry, what was the question again? I got carried away.
It's more about like that mental fortitude and what it is about you that's just made you push through all outside the ring.
Well, I guess I had no choice, to be honest. I've had no choice but to push on because I'm like not secretly a carpenter or a hairdresser or anything. I have literally no backup. Started doing this when I was 13. I don't know any other way. So I, had to put up with a lot of, but I've also gotten through a lot of, and that is my advantage in AEW. I've done a lot. You know, I've been through all of it. I've been through all the pain, and I've got to this point, and now it's just water off a duck's back. I think it's easy for me now, because I have all that experience to back me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last couple of things, kind of a quick fire round, I guess. Pick one male that you want to face from AEW.
Ricky.
Why Ricky?
Ricky, because I wasn't a fan of him. My husband came to AEW, and then they faced off, and I wasn't a fan of it. Wasn't a fan of that guy. So I'd mess him up if I had the chance.
Right.
And
Female?
FTR and CM Punk. Female. Well, who's left? Who would you like? Who would you like to see me?
The obvious choice would be Mercedes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I could handle her. I'll beat the out of her. Yep.
I mean,
I would.
Is there anyone from Japan you've got your eye on? Because that is, you had quite a successful run out there.
Well, I heard Julia's talking. She wasn't there last time I was there. She was probably like one of the girls carrying my bags or something. I don't know. And now, she's making all this noise. She thinks she's the not threatened by her at all, but I'd make an example out of her big time because of all the shit she's been talking. So I'd like to put her in her place. Yeah.
Okay. Non-wrestling questions. Football team.
Don't watch football.
Really?
Yeah.
You grew up in Liverpool and you didn't watch football?
Oh, yeah, Liverpool. I didn't grow up there. Yeah, my family, they're Liverpool people. You'll never walk alone, all that.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
Favorite British food?
Curry. Yeah. Just from any curry house. I did go back one time just to sort out all my stuff, and like that was the only thing that I missed was the curries.
Most influential person on your career to date? Just one person.
Saraya.
Go on, expand. Other than obviously now, expand on the past kind of influence.
She's when I was in England, I would wrestle her mother, who is just like the most violent person I've ever been in the ring with. She had a heck of an influence on me. I've been influenced by that family quite a bit, actually. And that was when Saraya was really starting to you know, become very popular in America and made a huge name for herself. And during that time, you know, her mother was like a mother to me, to be honest. And I just have always been inspired by her, heavily influenced by her. I've watched her for just, you know, it's crazy to me that we're friends. It's crazy to me that we're as close as we are, because she's just someone that I've adored for so long. So now we're a team, and I get to work with her all the time, and I get to see her all the time, and it's wonderful. She's a wonderful, wonderful person.
Favorite match of your career you'd like to relive?
God, I don't know if I want to relive any of it. Um, yeah, I just don't. Yeah, it's all the past. Just on to the next one. On to the next town.
And if you could pick one match that you haven't seen live, you would love to have been there, what would it be?
Christ, you know, that's a lot of matches. Damn. You know how
I
many
think
matches there's been? Hmm?
top three.
You know, I was a big fan of Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 19. I like that one. Let's go with that. Let's just go with that. The Ocho, Chris Jericho. Any one of his matches.